Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into another stream. If you guys are new here in the morning, we come in, we take a look at NQ price action. We see what happened during that overnight session. We see what price can do going into the New York session. So let's get into it. Let's see what we have going on here today, and we'll go from there. So we typically start our analysis on the 4-hour. That's where we're going to go now. So as always, we see what price is doing, kind of what price can do, and what it did. So let's take a look at this now. We did not sweep. Okay. And we're also posting this inside our Discord, so make sure you go check it out, www.papertraders.io, or check out our Twitter, that's @thepapertraders, and click on that link in the description. That will give you free access to the freemium membership. So you can come see what we're all about. So good morning. As always, we start our analysis on the 4-hour. Of 4-hour. Here, looking at it. So at a glance here, right? At a glance, we see that price is still trading below the 1550 EMA. This is the blue line. That's our 1550 EMA. That's the kind of our trend indicator, right? So given that it is still trading below the 1550 EMA, we are still likely looking for continued downside as long as price remains below that EMA. Here we see that price has an FEG that has yet to be retested from, so we have this fair value gap from 28,922.25 to 28,801.25. If price comes into this FEG and is seeing a reaction, then we will look for continued downside. If price trades through this FEG and gets above the 1550 EMA, then we can look for upside here. One thing to note here as well is that price has swept the previous 4-hour low here, and is now trading in the body range of the previous 4-hour candle. If price gets through the 50%, then we can look for an outside 4-hour here with a potential sweep of the London session high here. But we will also watch this PDH level sweep and reversal. Right, so we swept the previous daily high. We saw a little bit of a reaction from it to the downside. This weekly opened up flat, so that is one thing that we will continue to watch here. Let's see, on the 60, on the hourly, we're gonna form this fair value gap here likely, right? And there's one above over here that we should highlight. 1-hour FEG here. This is our 4-hour FEG here. Looking on the hourly here, we can see the sweep of the PDH here and displacement placement to the downside with a formation of the FEG here from 28,726. 726.25 to 28,697.75. We're going to watch this effigy here and see if the 9 a.m. hourly wants to reject it after sweeping the 8 a.m. hourly high. If the 8 a.m. hourly high is swept and price is rejecting the effigy above, then we can look for an outside hour to the downside. If price trades through this said effigy, or this effigy, then we can look for a continuation on the 4 hour for further upside or up until that effigy above on the 4 hour. We are going to watch, also be mindful of the BDH sweep here. So as long as price remains below the BDH sweep, then we can be looking for the PD 50% at was that 28,474.25, which is right below that weekly open. Okay, so there we go. That new hourly's opening up right now. And then if price trades back above the PDH, then we can look for further upside here. Alright, that's what we got going on. So we're sweeping that previous hourly high right now into that fair value gap. Let's see what we have on the 15-minute here. So we have two fair value gaps. Okay, so we're rejecting this right now. We have those two fair value gaps right here. There's one. 30-minute has a bigger fair value gap there. Let me show this. All right, so we swept these guys. Oh no. I'll put this into Monday Journal. And there's that immediate reaction to the downside, right? With price. Right, look at that reaction. That's a nice reaction there. It's an immediate one. So it looks like we might get that outside hour like right away here. Looking on the 15-minute, we have two FEGs. Price is currently rejecting the one that is resting from $28,708.25 to $28,685. This one is the closer one. We will watch for price to displace this in order for it to continue to the upside. However, Above, we have another FEG. FEG that lines up with the 12-hour level at 27:30.25 from 28:720 to 28:739.75. Which, if this lower FEG is displaced to the upside, we can watch for the one up above for potential for a rejection, and maybe use that lower one as an IFEG for an upside move. As always, we will watch the price either rejecting to the downside or trading above the levels for a continuation to the upside / reversal. All right, so if price can get through this fair value gap, we can potentially use it as an inverse fair value gap to then catch a move for a continued upside. Or we can reject this fair value gap around this 12-hour level, continue to the downside. On the 15... Oh my god. On the 15-minute, we still have some liquidity on the upside that does pose that potential for a continuation. So let's continue to watch. Let's see what price does around this area. And then our favorite part, taking out this daily plan and looking at what price did during the overnight session and see what it can do going to that New York session. So let's take a gander here. Let's see what we have going on. By the looks of it, we had a little bit of an Asian range. London manipulating to the upside. So New York potentially can see a nice consolidation here. Or Asia session expansion to the downside. London consolidation inside of it with a sweep of the high right here. And maybe New York reversal back into the downside. All right. Here on the 5-minute, we see that price had consolidation, during that Asian session with London manipulating above it, giving us New York potential expansion, continuation to the downside. As we said, continue to look around the London session high and see if price comes up to sweep it before the reversal to the downside. If price continues to trade above the London session, then we are going to look for upside. And that's all I have for you guys today. So thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. As always, make sure you go check us out. That's www.papertraders.io. Come hang out with us, see what we're all about. Go check us out on Twitter at The Paper Traders. check out that link in the description. Make sure you give us a follow or like if you like what you've seen here. So far, we are getting that play like we discussed, with price sweeping the previous hourly high, tapping into this fair value gap, and continuing into this previous hourly low. So that is likely a good case right now of what price wants to do. Just continue to the downside, targeting that London session low, weekly open, or Asia session low, my apologies, right here. All right, so if price continues that way, that's the way that it's going to go. We don't have any news. Core durable goods already came out, unless Trump decides to yap today. But on that, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.